Have you ever wondered what bandwidth is and why it's important? Picture this: a river flowing through a valley, the water representing data and the riverbank symbolizing the network connection. The wider the river, the more water it can carry at once. It's the same with bandwidth, which is essentially the maximum capacity of a network link to deliver data in a given amount of time. Think of bandwidth as the width of the river. The wider the river, the more water, or in our case, data, it can carry. It's not about speed but capacity, and just like a river can only hold so much water, a network link has a limit to how much data it can handle per second. A bit, represented by a 1 or 0, is the smallest unit of digital data. When we talk about bandwidth, we often measure it in bits per second. To grasp the magnitude of data we're dealing with, we use terms like kilobits per second, kbps, or megabits per second, mbps. That's millions of bits per second. Now imagine trying to fill a swimming pool using a garden hose. It would take quite some time, right? But if you had a fire hose, the task would be accomplished much quicker. In this analogy, the fire hose, with its larger diameter, has more bandwidth than the garden hose. As you might expect, more bandwidth comes with a higher cost. For instance, a network link capable of 1 gigabit per second, Gbps, will be pricier than one capable of 250 megabits per second. But why is bandwidth so important, you might ask? Well, it's the key to a smooth online experience. The bandwidth of a web page, for example, determines how quickly it loads in your browser. A website with lots of graphics may require 10 gigabytes or more of bandwidth. But a simpler website will use less. Just like a wider pipe allows water to flow more freely, a faster internet connection, provided by higher bandwidth, improves user experience by allowing web pages and videos to load smoothly. There are several ways to manage bandwidth. Network engineers might choose to increase bandwidth to avoid congestion. This could mean improving the physical throughput capability of the network or splitting traffic across multiple lines. Alternatively, internet service providers or network administrators might employ bandwidth throttling, intentionally slowing the rate at which data travels across the network to avoid congestion or limit the bandwidth used by certain users. So, to sum up, bandwidth is not about speed, but capacity. It's the maximum amount of data that can be sent or received in a given time. And while more bandwidth comes with a higher cost, it can greatly enhance the user experience, making it a crucial consideration in today's digital world.